Hello, Lisa here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a first impressions, well, kind of second impressions, because I showed this on my recent deck roundup deck haul, but we're doing a first impressions kind of deep walkthrough of the Cozy Witch Tarot deck by Amanda Lovelace, illustrated by Janena Medeiros. Now, you'll have to forgive me because I started to do this once and realized I wasn't recording, so I'm starting over. So now it's like third-ish impressions for at least the first portion of the deck. But anyways, we're going to get into it. I'm really excited. This was a deck that I kind of went back and forth on a little bit. I was worried the characters might be a little bit young, but as soon as I started seeing more images, I was like, I need this in my life. So I scooped it up. Now, I was already a fan of Amanda Lovelace's writing. If you're not familiar, Amanda Lovelace is a poet, and she has written a series of books. The one that I am the most intimately familiar with is The Princess Saves Herself in this one. But she has others. In fact, here's I think there's a list in here somewhere. It might be in the back. No. Okay. The story of a princess turned damsel turned queen, which I think is really powerful. But a lot of the trajectory of the poetry in this book is about sort of really being in toxic or negative or difficult situation and then sort of finding empowerment in the end. That's kind of what happens in the trajectory of the poetry. And you can tell when I really like a poetry book, because you'll see I have lots of dog-eared pages. I don't do this to my other books, usually. But with poetry books, I do, because I have a very small, tight, curated selection of books like this that I keep on a shelf and I refer to when I want like a little dose of healing or a little dose of validation. A lot of the poetry that I find myself drawn to sort of addresses topics like trauma or self-worth issues, that kind of thing. And I like seeing that reflected in potent writing. And I really like this particular style where it's sort of short poems. So this one, for example, says, I had a big smile on my face as I burned the bridges to all the things I could not repair. And then it says, does the smoke still choke you? Her poetry gives me literal goosebumps all the time. Let me grab another one. So this one says, he did not teach me how to love myself, but he was the bridge that helped me get here. I thank the universe every day for you. Oh, this is a good one. We'll do one more. Your hips will try to burst through your skin. Your thighs will try to grow together like a mermaid's tail. A soft garden will try to sprout on your legs and between your legs, on your upper lip, on your armpits, etc. No, you are not just here to be sexy for him. The world begins and ends when you say so, what they don't want you to know. I mean, oh, goosebumps every time. Really powerful stuff. So I was very invested in supporting Amanda's decks, and the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, which came out first, I had and loved for a while. I did eventually pass it on. I found I wasn't reaching for it very much. I don't know what it was about it. Like, I loved the messages, I loved the art, I loved the body diversity, I loved the little snippets of poems. I'm already second guessing that decision now that I've got this deck in hand, but I think I found I just wasn't reaching for it. Maybe it felt too affirmation-y. I don't remember. I don't remember, but I wasn't connecting with it, and I think I actually even covered that in an anti-haul. But in any case, I now have this one, and it is the perfect cozy vibes. That's why I picked this beautiful fall fabric to go beneath this. In fact, Peggy made me this cloth, and it's actually got, let's see if I can show you from up here. It's actually got green leaves on the other side. So it's two sides of fabric. One's for sort of spring and summer, and I use this one for the fall, and I love it. Anyways, enough about that. Let's get into the cards. So we have a sturdy two-piece box, really nice. This is a mass market deck, by the way, and it's published by Andrews McMeel Publishing. So if you know their quality, then you will know roughly what you're getting into what you're in for with this deck. Comes with a really nice monochromatic guidebook, but with lots of text, which is great because Amanda did all the writing for this. And the cardstock feels exactly like Woodland Wardens, which is also Andrews McMeel. Feels a lot like the Believe in Your Own Magic. I did find that my Believe in Your Own Magic warped a little bit over time, like the corners, like this way, like this corner and this corner kind of lifted, so it kind of had a twist. I don't know how to describe it. It did get a little bit of that going on, but the Believe in Your Own Magic cards were bigger and it was less cards. So we'll see if this does the same. My Woodland Wardens deck has not warped like that, so should be fine. But anyways, cardstock aside, let's just take a moment and appreciate the perfect cozy vibes for the backs. Like the coffees, the candles, brilliant. I love everything about this back design. It is the right color. It's everything. This deck literally has all the cozy vibes. And one of the things that this reminds me of, in a weird way, just bear with, I often talk about having a deck that I like to keep by my bedside table. And I like having a deck for that sort of bedtime deck. I like having a deck that has the messages written on it. So my go-to has typically been the Guardian Angel Tarot by that was originally by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, and it's now out of print. I really liked that deck because it had the messages on it. I wasn't necessarily drawn to the theme or the artwork, but I liked that it was a low mental effort deck. So I could just pull a card at bedtime, get a message, and go to sleep. And it was perfect for that. And the messages were very comforting. And I'm kind of hoping to get the same kind of vibe from this deck, which is suitable, or would be appropriate rather, because I also like to sometimes when I read poetry like this, I also tend to read it right before bed. So I feel like reading a couple poems, pulling a card, it just sounds like the ultimate cozy bedtime ritual to me. Perfect. So let's get into the cards and go through them. The Cozy Witch. So some of the cards have been renamed, but you have the title of the card and the number if there's a number associated. And then underneath that you have your message. So here we see a witch examining herself in the mirror. The windows here are wide open. We can kind of see like a hint of a path in the distance, or maybe it's just expanse, like wild open land. We have a kitty cat companion, which is amazing, and some beautiful roses here. Love the mushrooms on her satchel and the long knitted socks, just such a mood. And these hats, this shape of witch hat that got popular through somebody making them, I think on Instagram or something. And now they're like a total thing. I seriously still want one of those type of hats. One of those type of witchy hats. I love them. They're so cozy and perfect for fall, but witchy, but like kind of softer. Anyways, I babble. So this one says the Cozy Witch. Instead of the Fool, we have the Cozy Witch, and it says, take a chance, for each morning is a new beginning. Here in the Magician, we have what looks to be someone working in their greenhouse, which is super cute. They have a tray with all the tools of the suits on there. So it's a little cauldron, a candle, a pentacle, and a little blade there on the card, which is adorable. All the lush growth around them. And this says, the Magician, you have everything you need to do anything you want. This High Priestess is perfection. Wearing a t-shirt, like a long flowy t-shirt that's blue, much like the High Priestess's clothes are kind of flowy and blue, that says Divination Witch, another kitty companion, amazing, and she's literally pulling cards from the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. I recognize the backs, which have crowns on them. Let me see if I can bring this up. So that's the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. So that's a fun little Easter egg. We have the moon phases above on the tapestry. And crystals, I mean, ultimate High Priestess vibes. It says, when in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. Here we have the Empress. There's beauty to be found in every experience. And this is the card that has a face mask on it that reminded me a lot of COVID. Now, this deck was being illustrated during that time, as far as I know. And immediately when I saw this in the reveals, I was like, oh man, I almost didn't want to get it for this reason, because I was like, well, I don't want to be reminded of that time. That was a really tough time. But then I also remembered that I had a friend that I knew at one point who had to wear this kind of mask all of the time because she was, I believe she was immunocompromised, had nothing to do with COVID. It was pre-COVID. And she had a sensitive respiratory system. So she was always wearing masks and trying to get cute ones that matched her clothing so that she could like feel like she could dress up her masks a bit. And this reminded me of that. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe this has nothing to do with COVID, although I'm sure it could, right? And that just helped me reframe the card a bit, which I really appreciate. But I love that she's here. She's actually nurturing a baby. She's breastfeeding. I just think that's beautiful. The Emperor, sitting on stone steps, looking at, I think, a compass or a watch, says, being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. Now, I think everybody has been more female presenting so far. Here we have the Hierophant. We have two little young witches seeking the guidance of an older witch, and it says, tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. So it looks like this older witch might be running a little witchy shop. There's some little herb bundles up here, some candles and crystals, and copies of the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck are on the shelf, clearly to be sold. That's amazing. I love that. And then I am especially fond of this Lovers card. This marries the two concepts of the Lovers that I think are really important to be present in the card. One is around the idea of sort of bonding or love or romance or like really deep human connection. There's that represented imagery, in the imagery rather. But then the message says, the Lovers, will you or won't you? The choice is yours. So you get the element of choice, and that's really powerful. I love that that's there. The Chariot, you'll never get anywhere if you keep standing still. I love the snail. I love that the wind is like, from riding the bike so fast, the wind is sort of trying to blow the witch's hat off of this character. There's still cats. There's little cats on the shirt. So cute. I love the flowers and the spokes of the wheels as well. Strength. It takes great strength to be soft. I love this. I love that there's a little bit of hair on her legs. Just humanizes the characters. If this is not the coziest hermit card I've ever seen, we have a person in a blanket fort wearing a hoodie that says Solitary Witch, surrounded by books and either a smartphone or a e-reader and a pendulum. Like, pillow and blanket fort, hoodie. Like, this is the entire cozy vibes. And it says there are some things that must be done on your own. Cute. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is the good luck charm. That's how it's been renamed. And she's wearing what looks like a little acorn necklace. Super cute. Says, if nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. Oh, I love that. That makes me happy. Okay, we have Justice. We have the laptop here, and the robe has been hung up. Cool. Stick to your truth, and everything will turn out just fine. Look at the slippers and the little puppy. Everything. Everything. The Patient Witch. How many of us have done this, actually? Like hanging our head off the end of the bed like that? It says, learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Death is the broom. Oh, this is potent. Okay, so wait. So Justice was Justice. 12 was the Patient Witch instead of the Hanged One. 13 is broom instead of death. Tidy up your life so you can make space for something better. Wow. And there's donation boxes. There's literally decluttering happening. Look at how bright it is out there. This is so far definitely giving the vibes of a cozy deck that would be perfect for like a comforting read, something nice and soothing before bed. I think this is going to fill that space quite nicely. Here we have Temperance. Let go of self-imposed limitations. It's an interesting take on temperance, and I dig it. Ooh, 15 is the Devil. Only here we have Toxic Witches. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. Wow. They're both drinking from full cups, and hers is empty. She's all curled in on herself, and her cup is empty. Wow. And she's kind of curled up, protecting herself from that. Wow, that's really, really strong. The Tower, get ready. Things are about to get shaken up. We have a like windstorm. Oh, the tree house is on fire out here, like the childhood tree house. The Star, have faith that healing is in the forecast. I love this. You can tell it's recently rained. You can tell this could be what happened, you know, after the storm. Really lovely. Then we have the Moon. Taking time for deep self-reflection is essential. That energy feels a little bit hermity, but it definitely works for the Moon. And we are doing that work of sort of digging things up from the subconscious. So that really, it's an effective meaning. It's an effective interpretation. I like it. The Sun. Give yourself permission to experience joy. Oh, I love this. I like the bumblebee and the sunflowers. Judgment. All the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So again, slight nitpicky thing. I tend to see the Judgment as actually a call to get out of the status quo a bit, to sort of evolve, do better. This could be a sign that you've already done that, which is how I would probably interpret this if it came up with that message in a reading. Look at the kitty though, for real. Now we have the World. Yay, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. I love the butterflies. I love the dance. I love the way the bridge and just the scenery is creating that sort of shape around her that we're used to seeing in the World card. Just kind of turned on its side a bit, that mandorla or kind of egg shape. It's just, like I said, turned a bit. Love it. Oh my God. Okay, the cozy vibes are real. Ace of Cups. Potion mug. Looks like it's hot cocoa. It's like dripping over. Oh my God, I love it so much. Ace of Cups. Do you feel that in your heart? That's potential, dear. My voice is going. Okay, Two of Cups. Some people are like the pumpkin to your spice. Love it. Three of Cups. Come together with your coven. I love this. One of the things I always look for in a Three of Cups is some idea represented that shows that the three characters on the card are all bringing something different to the table. They're all literally unique in some way, and I love that that's represented so well here. Also, props to Amanda for not just having the wheelchair be the chariot, because we often see somebody in the, if we're going to see a wheelchair, it often shows up in the chariot or strength, and I like that it's just showing up in a regular card. I love that. Good job. Four of Cups, try not to be so picky, okay? It's somebody at a coffee shop who keeps obviously returning their order because it's not quite right, like being just not appreciating what they have. Five of Cups, spilled tea isn't the end of the world. Oh my gosh, I love this. Beautiful. Six of Cups, give yourself the compassion you were never given. Oh. Seven of Cups. Not every great option you're given will be a great option for you. Oh, that is so spot on. Also, the trying to choose which cup to drink out of, the struggle is real, yo. Eight of Cups. If your life feels stale, explore some new scenery. What really stands out to me about this is that it looks like there's like this vast ocean in front of her, and then next to her are these big, tall, like they almost look like they could be 2 liter, they probably are 2 liter or 1 liter empty bottles. So this idea of like, yeah, you've invested a lot, but are your bottles actually full of anything? You know, and she's going to go fill her cup. Like there's all this like emptiness represented by these. And then there's all this fullness represented by the ocean outside. It's a very potent image actually, and I really love it. Oh, I fell in love with this when I saw it in my recent deck roundup, but I'm very particular about the Nine of Cups. I often say it's a card that shows a dude with a bunch of wine, and I get very nitpicky about that, but I love when we can see solitary contentment in some variety, and yes, even the dude with a bunch of wine has that solitary contentment energy. It definitely works, but I love this. I love the van life vibes. I love the puppy. I love the idea that she seems like she's traveling solo and is very content, and it says, live in a constant state of gratitude. Have I been reading these? I might have skipped some. I'm sorry if I didn't read them all. 10 of Cups. Okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. Oh, I love it. We see stretch marks. I'm a fan. We have the rainbow. This beautiful beach scene, this like blended family. I just freaking love it. It's fabulous. Have I said fabulous 18,000 times? Probably. The Page of Cups, I love her so much. This is one of my significator cards, and I adore it. It says, let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. One of the things the Page of Cups, I think, has is a sense of sort of wonder and excitement for the world, and I think that's really captured in that message. The Knight of Cups is sitting down, which is interesting. Romanticize the present moment every chance you get. The book says poetry. Interesting. And there's a question mark. I think it's a question. No, is it a seahorse tattoo? It's a seahorse tattoo. And there's this heart of shells there. So this idea of like seeking love, seeking contentment, but maybe just not forgetting to also appreciate the present. I like it. Queen of Cups. Honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self-care. I love that it says Sea Witch. And King of Cups. Always I was going to say compromise. Always compose yourself before giving a response. This feels like such an infinitely usable deck, and it's giving me all of the like November feels. I feel like this needs to immediately come into my rotation. Ace of Pentacles. Wow, what an abundant opportunity. Ugh. Two of Pentacles. When life gets chaotic, find a way to get grounded and balanced. What does that say? Oh my gosh, I just realized, I think this says secretly a Selkie. That's amazing. Oh my God, when life gets chaotic, find a way to get grounded and balanced. Juggling a pentacle and a sea dollar. It kind of gives this idea of, again, work and life, right? Work-life balance we talk about with this card, right? I love that. And the Selkie mythology actually ties in well with that concept too. Here we have the Three of Pentacles. What's the saying? Teamwork makes the spell work. Freaking glorious. I love the modern witchy vibes of this so much. Four of Pentacles. Treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. Interesting. We don't usually see the Four of Pentacles being about treating yourself. In fact, often we see this about holding on to resources. We see it about maybe you're holding too tightly. But we can kind of see that here because sure, she's treating herself, but she does have 4 different bags. And maybe it's like, do we need all 4? I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching the meaning intended by, let's actually read the guidebook on this one because now I'm curious. I like the interpretation. I don't have an issue with it. I'm just curious what the take is on it. It says, I'm just holding my resources close. You never know what could happen, right? The witch says, chuckling nervously. Most people would probably agree that the responsible thing is to have a few dollars tucked away in case of a rainy day. However, this card may indicate that you're doing much more than just saving a few dollars here and there. It may have started as a way to create a little security for yourself, but all you've created is unfounded fear around spending. This isn't to say you should go blow all your savings on a cauldron full of frivolous things, just that you're worthy of being spoiled sometimes. So go buy that plant or crystal you've been eyeing. And in the reversed, you won't agree to anything that could potentially mess with the financial stability you've established for yourself, which may have resulted in some lost opportunities. Take a little risk and trust that your needs will be taken care of no matter what. Okay, I totally get where she was going with that. 5 of Pentacles, nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. Safe haven, the hat sign says, and it's literally pointing, and she's turning and looking at it. So this is definitely a more positive spin on the card. We're not avoiding the help. We're not like walking away from it, but rather starting to walk towards it. Like you can see the change in direction just beginning to happen for her. I love it. 6 of Pentacles, every blessing you give will eventually be returned to you. I love that she's finding change in the couch cushions. What a great way to represent the energy of this card. It's not even so much as reliant on others, but like trusting in karma to have your back and to kind of pay back to you what you've paid out. I love that. Plant shop, 7 of Pentacles, nurture what you have and see how it grows and grows. 8 of Pentacles, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do all the work for you. Keep on cracking. Love it. 9 of Pentacles, pause and savor the results of your success. I just noticed these cards are not in the order I'm typically used to, but that's okay. Pause and savor the results of your success. I love a hammock in the 9 of Pentacles. I love the way it brings to mind the idea of leisure and like having earned that leisure. Oh, look at all the cats. 10 of Pentacles, having it all looks different to everyone. You might not have a lot of money, but you have a lot of cats. And I think this is such an empowering way to look at this card. I love the way that this has been updated. Like really, really love it. Page of Pentacles. When life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade. Love it. I keep saying love it. I mean, clearly I'm in love with this deck. And by the way, lemonade stands for the Page of Pentacles, and newspaper routes are among my favorite ways to depict that card, or to see it depicted rather. Knight of Pentacles. Slowly but surely you're going places. What are they holding? I don't know. It looks like, I don't know. Huh. Okay, now I'm curious. Does it say in the guidebook? Pentacles. Opening their magical box of herbs, the knight asks, see anything you might want to add to your cauldron? Oh, they're selling herbs. Oh, that's cute. They're like an herb salesperson. Sales witch. The witch is in. Queen of Pentacles. There's no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. Wowza. Love the vibes. King of Pentacles. True success isn't just about money. It's about happiness too. Thanks for supporting local witches. It's a small business owner. Oh my God, I love it. So cute. Okay. That brings us to the sword suit. Ace of Swords. Look at you. You're bursting with sparkly new ideas. Oh, interesting. I often would think of that energy, bursting with new ideas, kind of more wandsy because it makes me think of inspiration. But new ideas are a mental capacity. So that really does work. It just kind of took me a second. Indecisive witch, the road sign says. 2 of Swords. Wake up. What is it that you truly want? Library. Love this. 3 of Swords. Oh, it's okay to cry. Oh, she's crying and she's holding a book that has the 3 of Swords symbol on it. Aw. Here we have 4 of Swords. Why aren't you resting? She's got a hot pad to her tummy, a steaming cup of tea or coffee or something, and the cutest little doggie in her lap. I'm here for the doggies. Definitely here for the doggies. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The 4 swords hanging on the paintings above. So smart. 5 of Swords. You can't be right all of the time. She's got her nose in the air. So does her Dalmatian. Oh, wowza. And then we have the 6 of Swords. All aboard witch. It's time to write a new chapter. But all of this baggage, maybe we don't need it all. Seven of Swords. Are your actions really as selfless as you think? She's about to smash a spider. Smash it. Wowza. Next, we have the Eight of Swords. Stop overthinking it and just do it. I like how the swords are actually surrounding the mind, because that is definitely what the Eight of Swords feels like. That overthinking, that overanalyzing energy. Nine of Swords. We all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. It's 3 a.m. She's wide awake. The swords are hanging overhead. 10 of Swords. Hurt people, and hurt witches, hurt witches. And she's putting a curse spell out. Wow. Potent stuff for sure. Page of Swords. Curiosity is a type of magic. I love this. I love that she's at the little library. I love that she's interested in learning. I love the vibes completely. And curiosity is one of my favorite keywords for the Page of Swords. So I love it. Knight of Swords. Be ambitious. Chase your every dream. Book blogger. That's what the shirt says. That's amazing. And she's got her smartphone and she's looking at a magazine and she's got all the books around that she's probably going to review. She has a unicorn hanging on the wall. Oh my gosh. Queen of Swords. Don't you dare lower your voice for anyone. Ooh. Oh, the sign says book club. So she's sitting alone. She has a little toad familiar. So cute. I guess they've all been kind of familiars. That's been kind of neat to see. I just realized. So she might not be making a lot of friends by being herself, but she is not going to be less of herself just to make friends. King of Swords. We can all learn important things from one another. And writing. Love these vibes. Ace of Wands. Don't you see how your passion makes you glow? Oh, I like it. I just realized that, yeah, see, the aces are really lovely. Really lovely. Okay. Here we have the, make sure my microphone isn't coming off. Okay. Here we have the Two of Wands. Your decisions decide your future here, nothing else. Three of Wands. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. I love that. Have another doggy. Four of Wands. Family is whoever makes you feel the most safe and comfortable being you. Yes to that. And up at the top it says a place to hang your witch hat. Oh. Five of Wands. A good coven lets every witch have a say. Instead of shouting over each other, they all get to have a turn speaking. Six of Wands. You're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. Oh my God, that's amazing. Like, own your success. Seven of Wands. Witches should hold other witches accountable. Ooh. There's bullying happening, and it's like, what are you going to do about it? Love it. Eight of Wands. Light a fire underneath your cauldron and go, go, go. Wow. Nine of Wands. It would take a hell of a lot more to defeat you. Look at all the wounds. Oh. All the melted candles. But one is still burning. That's really powerful. Blessed Samhain witches. 10 of Wands says, why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Yeah, she's carrying all of these candles all at once when she could just take a smaller load. Page of Wands. Just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it will be effortless. That makes sense, right? Definitely makes sense. Knight of Wands. Sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little. That's classic Knight of Wands vibes right there. Queen of Wands. Replace your self-doubt with self-confidence. Love that so much. And King of Wands. Shine your inner candlelight bright enough for others to follow. Oh, so lovely. So there aren't any boys or more masculine looking people that I could see really, or that really stood out to me in this deck. It's a very feminine presenting deck for the most part. Now that's fine for me. That's the vibe I'm after. I get it. It works for me. This is the kind of deck I would use for a lot of personal readings. I do think there's a good chance this is going to become a bedtime deck for me. I'm going to shuffle it. We will take a look at the guidebook, but I've already read a couple sample entries. I'm probably going to pull this into my rotation in November. I'll probably, by the time you see this, I'll have already done it, but I'm probably going to pull this into my member readings. It feels actually surprisingly stiff to shuffle. Like the cardstock actually feels really like bendy. It doesn't feel overly like thick, but together it just for some reason is like being kind of tough to shuffle, and it is a little bigger. So I feel like it's a little stretch and it's a little stiff, which is not always a great combo. I'm getting some clumping, but it is working. Oh, it's a very interesting, yeah, I feel like it almost like it should have been just a touch thinner, but I feel like if it was thinner, it'd be more likely to warp. So it is a lovely matte finish, so you're not gonna have to deal with glare, which is always nice. Let's just lay out, I feel like this is gonna be a single card deck, but let's just pull a single card. Judgment, all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's put that there. Let's take a look at the guidebook. So in the guidebook, You're Your Very Own Fairy Tale Poetry Trilogy. Oh yeah, okay. This is more about her poetry. Oh yeah, so Princess saves herself in this one. The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one. The Mermaid's Voice returns in this one. Slay Those Dragons, a journal for writing your own story. Believe in Your Own Magic, the deck. Yeah, so these are some of her prior works. There's more, of course, that come through here. Welcome, Witches. So there's an intro, some Cozy Witch basics, a little bit about the suits, reversals, and using the tarot, preparing your deck, getting cozy, a deck interview spread, more Cozy Witch spreads. Oh my gosh, there's several in here. That's nice. And then the major arcana. So then we get into our card entries. And then typically the card entry has the thumbnail of the image, the title, including it's also known as usual title. So let's just check that for some of these other renamed ones. Yeah, Toxic Witches, aka the Devil. Then you have the same phrase repeated that was on the card, also repeated in the guidebook. And then you have the message, and then you have a little reversed blurb as well. And then I think that's it right up until you get to the about the author and about the artist in the back. I'm very, very pleased about this deck. It's freaking adorable. I think this is going to be a really great deck to use in rotation. As I said, by the time you see this, I will have already pulled this into my monthly member readings, I believe. So I will let you know in my November show and tell how that went. So if you're curious, or if I for some reason don't mention it in my November show and tell, don't forget to ask me then and I'll update you about how it went. But for now, thank you so much for hanging out for this walkthrough of the Cozy Witch Tarot deck. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and until then, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!